course, as long as the collocation is a big issue, we can see that collocations can cause some pitfalls and translation problems. And these translation problems are of a bit different kind. One of them is the interference of the source language. You remember we were talking about that in the very beginning, and we were saying that interference is found at different levels, at word level and grammatical structures and everything. And here we can see that collocation is one of the fields where interference can occur. And remembering about that, we can be cautious and look for best solutions in our translations. So it is easy to assume that as long as a collocation can be found in the target language, which conveys the same or a similar meaning to that of the source collocation, the translator will not be confused by differences in the surface patterning between the two. What does it mean? If something looks very similar, we can apply the translation without second thought, and it will not be right. Like in our text, there was a leading technology engineer, if you remember. And in Ukrainian, we've got something very similar, inžener technolog. But in Ukrainian, inžener technolog is used in the area of production, manufacturing, especially food manufacturing. And it will be absolute confusion if we use this term for any information technologies sphere, and we should avoid it. So we'll look at it later a bit. Another factor which can cause translation problems is misinterpreting the meaning of a source language collocation. An example from the book that I recommended you to read. He had been struck by his appearance as someone with modest means. And if you remember as an example, there was a translation into Arabic given, but we can easily find the similar situation with translation into Ukrainian. So його вразила його зовнішність, яка говорила про його скромність і простоту. So if we don't go look deeper into the sense of the word means and modest means, then this closeness of the word скромність to the expression in the source text can misguide us. And here we can see the change of meaning. Yes, modest means is someone who has no money, and it has nothing to do with traits of character. Yes, скромність, простота, traits of character. So we can find here closer equivalent in Ukrainian, not to make this misinterpretation influence the translation. So again, returning to what we were talking about, is that collocations have no direct and full equivalents in two different languages. And that is why the nearest acceptable collocation in the target language will often involve some change in meaning. This change in meaning may be minimal or not particularly significant in a given context. And on the other hand, it may be significant. You remember we were discussing some of your variants of translation of the previous text, and we were deciding what we can sacrifice, what we should leave and preserve in the text, and which is important for this or that reason. So a certain amount of loss, addition, or skewing of meaning is often unavoidable in translation. So language systems tend to be too different to produce exact replicas in many cases. The degree of acceptability or non-acceptability of a change in meaning depends on the significance of this change in a given context. So what does it mean? It means that we are looking for the best solution, and we always weigh what is more important: accuracy, meaning the closeness to the source text, or typical use of collocations, or the choice should be in favor of the target language. And collocations is one of the big parts of the of this process.